of the rope to an ordinary ice cube. Now we put a pinches of salt on top and wait for the reaction, during which the ice melted a little. But not everything is so simple. If you pull the rope, you'll realize that the cube is frozen to the rope, and very hard. No matter how you swing it, it won't fall off. And now, let's take a bigger cube and add salt that will need more than a couple of pinches. We will distribute it and attach an ordinary towel on top. We will firmly press it and turn it over so that the cube presses with its own weight. After about 2 minutes, the cube froze to the towel. And it can even be lifted into the air. Incredible reaction of ice with salt. We will need half a liter of water in a bottle. Let's leave it for about 4 hours and then put it in the freezer for another hour and a half. Carefully take it back out. Now strike one light blow and the water starts to freeze right in front of your eyes. Incredible, isn't it? Or you can hit the bottle on the table and get the same effect. And if you try to pour this water into a glass, it will begin to form an ice column. Carefully pour this water into a glass and then attach an ice cube to the surface. The water begins to gradually crystallize, and after a couple of seconds, the cube quietly stays on the solid surface. Tiny piece of ice is enough to trigger a freezing reaction in the whole glass. And just look how beautiful it is. By the way, you can pull off a similar trick with cola. But you need to freeze it for about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Open the lid by activating the gases. And then abruptly close it. And hit the bottle and the cola instantly turns into ice. Again, the trick with the lid. Then hit the table and instead of a drink, it's an ice block. Let's take an ordinary ice cube and hit it with the hammer. It instantly shatters into small pieces. And now an unusual cube. The first blow didn't hurt him. And the second, and the third. And fourth. It's like it's indestructible. What's its secret? It's synthetic insulation. Pour the water into the ice mold and put the insulation in there. We fill it to the top and fill it with water all the way till the end. We'll freeze it and take our cube out. It looks like an ordinary ice, but even a hammer can't handle it. It's amazing how much its properties have changed from a piece of insulation. Let's take a fruit juice and pour it into a plastic bag like this. Let's put the bag in a bigger bag and now surround it with ice. Evenly distribute it over the entire area of the packaging. It is important that the juice bag remains exactly in the center. And now add salt to the ice at a decent amount. Close the bag and distribute the salt inside so that it comes in contact with all the ice. Wrap it with the paper towel and leave it for 10 minutes. We take out a bag of juice, and what do we see? It seems we have a whole package of delicious fruit ice cream. In just a couple of minutes, you'll lick your fingers. Here we have 3 vessels with seemingly identical liquids. We gently lower a raw egg into each one of them, gently lowering them along the wall. And now let's add ice cubes here. In the first vessel, we have alcohol, egg, and ice drowned. In the second, there's fresh water. The ice has surface, and the eggs in the bottom. And in the third vessel, we have salt and water. There's ice and egg on the surface. Pour into a glass of water to the very edges and drop an ice cube into the water. The ice has melted, but the water doesn't seem to have been spilled. Then, we'll add another ice cube. Has melted, but the water's not overflowing yet, so immediately the third one. The third cube also did not allow the water to pour out, but unfortunately, the fourth place was not enough. And now we need water, soda, and vinegar. Mix soda and vinegar in the saucepan with the violent reaction. Let's leave them for about 3 hours. When the reaction is over and we got this mass, to which we will add more water. Turn on the gas and put the pan on the fire. Stir them over low heat until the liquid becomes almost transparent. Pour it into a glass vessel and leave it to cool down at room temperature. Pour a little of our liquid on the surface and it immediately begins to crystallize. We'll pick up a little powder from the walls on the pan with the wooden stick and dip it into ordinary water. Like snowflakes, they spread over the entire surface, as if freezing the water. Look at this pattern. The more points there are, the faster the reaction proceeds. Just look how beautiful it looks. Let's try to crumble our crystals. They look like ice, but they are hot. If we smoothly pour out our liquid, then it'll begin to form in such a column. The freezing is just instant. And if you lower a wooden stick into a vessel with this liquid, it instantly becomes covered with crystals, and then completely gets stuck in the solidified liquid. This time, the crystals seem to create a flower on the stick, but they continue to grow, filling the entire container. Let's lower a branch of a plant into the container. Having so many points of contact, crystals fill the entire vessel almost instantly. This process looks truly fascinating. I want to watch it again and again. And most importantly, every time it's an absolutely unique result. Just fascinating. But the example of these 3 eggs clearly shows their age depending on their position in the water. And here's an easy way for you to quickly peel the boiled egg. Break the shell from 2 opposite ends and roll the egg a little on a hard surface. Now the shell will come off in just a couple of light movements. Well, if you plan on cutting the egg for a salad, then just cut it in 2 halves with a knife, pick up the egg with the spoon. It's a matter of a couple of seconds. Now we'll need a large onion ring and a bell pepper ring. Put them in a frying pan and pour an egg in the center of each ring. As you can see, the eggs do not spread in front of each form. Fry until tender and serve garnished with herbs. Such a beautiful and delicious breakfast. But this life hack is not only suitable for vegetables. Simply remove the inner part of a piece of bread, melt the butter in the frying pan, put the bread and pour the egg into the center. As soon as it grabs one side, just turn the egg over the toast over. In just a couple of minutes, such an unusual breakfast is ready. How delicious, is it? Besides, the yolk remains liquid, just how I like it. Now we need to separate the egg white from the yolk. Add a pinch of salt. Beat it with the mixture in dense peaks. Half of this delicate foam will be placed in a steel pan. Put the yolk on top and cover it with remains of protein foam. Fry one side and then turn it over. Just 2 minutes in the frying pan and our incredible tendery, airy egg is ready. I made a small burger out of it. Here's how it looks in the cut. For this life hack, we will cut an ordinary sausage into 2 halves. Then, we will make a shallow incisions throughout the entire length from a ring from it and fix the ends with the toothpick for reliability. We will place our rings in the frying pan and of course, we'll pour an egg into the center. This is not just an unusual breakfast, but the real flour arrangement. And if you absolutely have no time to cook something in the morning, an omelet in a glass will come to the rescue. Break an egg into the glass, add milk, whisk it with a fork, put the glass in the microwave, and run it for 2 minutes at maximum power. Voila! Delicious, simple, and most importantly, a quick omelet is ready. By the way, you can also cook a poached egg in the microwave. Break the egg into the glass and pour a small amount of water. Cover the glass with the saucer so that the water does not evaporate from the glass. A couple of minutes, and the egg boiled to the required degree. And the yolk remained liquid. Let's try something more interesting. Chop the red cabbage, then separate the egg white from the yolk and add purple cabbage juice filtered through cheesecloth to it. Stir and add a little lemon juice to make the shade more pink. Now pour the resulting substance into a frying pan and when it seizes, pour out another egg white. We put the yolks on top so that we get a resemblance of the yin-yang symbol. Thus, we get a truly balanced breakfast, unusual, healthy, and most importantly, delicious. Now, we need a hard-boiled egg. It should still be hot. Let's put it in this form, which we made from a sheet of cardboard and several rubber bands. Press down on top with the wooden stick and fasten the other end of it also so with the help of elastic bands. In this form, we'll leave the egg to cool, which will allow it to retain the shape of set by the wooden stick. It looks like an egg with a dent, but now you will see it in a different section.